Hello, everyone. Okay, now I'm going to go over section 1.3. We're going to talk a little bit more about vectors and assignment. So like I was saying, we can assign a variable or a vector with the arrow dash, but also note you can use the traditional equal sign that we use in Python and most other languages as well. They both work the same. However, in R, we mainly use the arrow and the dash. That's just what is standard. So, like I was saying, if we assign a variable and we want to print something out that's on the last line of a code block, we can just simply run it and it will print out. We don't have to write the word print. What is a vector? A vector contains multiple elements of the same type. So, like I was saying, data sets and lists usually contain multiple types of data. So, however, a list, for the most part, contains multiple types of data, whereas a vector usually contains the same type of data in each element. So whether that's integers, strings, or booleans. So as we can see here, booleans are also another data type. So they will come up blue in Google Colab because it's a Python keyword. Strings will come up orange, integers green, and so on. I guess maybe different and not in dark mode. Okay. So this is what's called a numeric vector, a character vector, and a Boolean or logical vector. So like I was saying, you can use the C to combine elements, or you can use the SEQ or REP function. So SEQ will create a sequence. So it will automatically generate the numbers between, for example, 1 and 10, or whatever your first and your second input are, and skip by whatever is your third input. So we could be counting up by 1 or by 2, by 3, and so on. So this, since we have by 2, it's going to do every other. So just the output, the result that goes into V2 variable here that we're assigning it to will be a vector containing 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, since we're skipping by 2, 1 to 10. Whereas vector 3, we are going to repeat 5 3 different times. So repeats the same element. Accessing vector elements. So like I was saying, when I refer to an element, I'm just talking about one individual number or string or whatever is in the vector. So if we want to access one specific element, it's also called the index. So we're accessing that element by the index. So V1, so the index is 1 for 10, the index is 2 for 20, the index is 3 for 30. So indexing starts at 1 in R. As you may remember, Python starts at 0. So make sure to make that distinguished. And we can also access multiple elements at once, so we can concatenate these two indices into a vector within the square brackets. So whatever is in the square brackets, those are what we want to extract from the vector. We can also do vector operations. So for example, like I was saying, we can add or multiply a number by the entire vector at once, or we can do it element-wise. So if we add one vector of one size to another with the same size, it will add element-wise. So that means 10 and 1 are added, 2 and 20, and 3 and 30 in this case. Another useful thing we might want to do, for example, if we're creating data sets, is assign names to specific vectors of data. So 9, 80, and 70. So those are going to be associated with math, science, and history, respectively. If we assign it to this names function with scores within. This is a little bit of a different type of assignment here, but it's good to know how to do. It's important to know how to assign names to different variables. So even though it looks a little weird because we have the names function on this side of the arrow, that's what we're doing. And then we printed it out here and it looks like a little table. That'll be good for creating tables. And then here's some more examples of everything. You can run yourself, play around with it. The best way to learn how to code is to write the code yourself. So besides in the exercises and homeworks, I strongly recommend playing around with this code, changing numbers, and seeing what happens. If you make errors, don't worry. You have the notes. You can ask me, or you can try to fix it on your own. It's up to you. But that's how you learn, is you make mistakes. And we have our little summary here, and I will see you in the next lecture.